scrap was every engine's worst nightmare. But the fear of becoming scrap differed in strength from engine to engine. And one job in particular that most engines hate was taking loads of scrap metal to the scrapyard or simply working there, shunting lines of trucks to either be filled with scrap or taken to a smelting shed to be melted down. The mainland would also send withdrawn engines to Silver for scrapping in a dead train. This was usually done after nightfall so that the island's resident engines would have to bear witness to such a grisly sight. However, this wasn't always the case for one particular engine, a dark blue well tank by the name of Sunny, dreaded the scrapyard more than any other engine. Before his arrival on the island of Silver, Sunny was under the ownership of two thieves named Baz and Bernie, who used him to travel around and steal valuable goods. Now he found himself working on the Northwestern Railway for Sir Tom Pett, doing his best to prove he was trustworthy, but most importantly, really useful. One evening, Sunny was resting in his shed when Sir Tom came to see him.
Evening, Gob.
Sunny said with a smile. Good evening, Sunny, Sir Tom replied. I have a job for you. Sunny beamed happily.
What sort of job, Gob?
He asked curiously. Harry and Bert need some help with the workload tonight at the Kildane Smelters Yard, Sir Tom told Sunny. Even though the two can manage the smelters yards well on their own, there's a high demand for scrap metal at this point in time. Can I trust you to help them? Sunny's face fell a little bit. A feeling of uncertainty came to his boiler.
Of course,
said Sunny, his voice a little shaky. You'll be fine, Sunny, Sir Tom said soothingly. I told Harry and Bert that you are coming to help them and nothing more. I understand you were threatened to be scrapped when those two crooks owned you. But that's all behind you now, okay? Sunny didn't reply, but left off a feeble weak scheme. Can I trust you to do a good job there for just tonight? Sir Tom asked.
Yeah, of course, Gob. You can rely on me.
Said Sunny. Sir Tom could hear the uncertainty in the well tank's voice, but knew he couldn't let him down. All right then, said Sir Tom. Best you get going, so you can be there before nightfall. And with that, Sir Tom walked away. Sunny watched him walk off until he was out of sight. With that, Sunny set up the smelter's yard. Deep inside, there was a dormant feeling of dread. Overhead, the sun had set and the twilight was closing in as Sunny made his way down the main line to the smelter's yard. The trip felt like it took hours, but at long last, Sunny had arrived. The eerie sight of rusting scrap and the remains of engines made Sunny feel a little uncomfortable, as any engine would be. But his feeling of discomfort was much stronger than most. A thin mist hung low to the ground, and the distant sound of machinery hard at work made the atmosphere more eerie. Sunny came to a stop and looked around him. There were trucks lined up, waiting to either be filled with rusty scrap metal, emptied in the smelter shed, or to be shoved onto an unwaiting line of trucks, ready to be taken elsewhere on the island or the mainland. As his eyes darted about the place, a stinging feeling rose in Sunny's boiler, as if he got boiler ache all of a sudden. It felt like someone had taken his boiler tubes and twisted them in one knot. Just then, the distant sound of hurrying was heard in the distance. Sunny looked ahead, and from the low, lying mist emerged the two ironworks diesels. Evening, said Harry. You must be Sunny. Sir Tom told us you were coming to help, eh? Sunny didn't reply for a bit, but plucked up the courage.
Yeah, that's right. The Gob sent me here to assist you,
said Sunny, trying his best not to sound scared. Harry and Bert chuckled a little. Don't worry, Sunny, came Bert's reply. If you had you scrapped the Gove, the Gove would mount an engine on this wall. You've got nothing to worry about. Sunny eyed the Ironworks twins closely. Their demeanor was menacing, but they meant no harm. They knew they had a job to do, and dreaded what Sir Tom would say if the work wasn't done. To him, Sunny felt like a helpless deer staring in fear at Harry and Bert, who were like two hungry wolves staring down their prey, waiting for a chance to strike.
Just don't try anything silly, please.
Sunny said sheepishly. The twins looked at each other and chuckled again. We won't, Harry replied. Mind how you go. Smelter Yard's foreman was approached them. Ah, you must be the engine Sir Tom said to have Harry and Bert. Sunny, was it? The foreman said.
Yeah, Sonny, that's me.
He replied, a stint of hesitance in his reply. All right then, your first task for tonight is to marshal that empty line of trucks just behind Harry and Bert over to that siding, so they can be loaded by that train over there. The foreman told Sunny. Sunny looked behind Bert and saw the trucks the foreman had mentioned.
No problem, Gob,
said Sunny. Even though he was trying not to, Sunny was struggling to hide his unease. Better get to work now, said Bert. Can't disappoint the Gov, hey? Can't have that. We would be seen as useless scrap. Sunny gulped a little.
Yeah, can't disappoint the Gob. I better get started,
he said with a tremble in his voice. And with that, Sunny set off to work. It took a bit for Sunny's crew to switch him onto the same line as the trucks. But once it was done, Sunny found himself approaching them. Though what Bert said to him earlier was only said out of harmlessness, Sunny was taken a bit aback by this, even though Bert was being serious. They couldn't stand it as Porch Top had, let alone be considered useless. He carefully mounted the trucks and began to push him over to a small crane on the side of the track. By now, the twilight had given way to an endless void of darkness above, cool and crisp breeze to be felt on the pavement. But in the air, Sunny could feel distant and humid heat of the smelting shed, as well as hearing the sound of heavy machinery working hard, breaking down the scrap metal to the end. Cool night air did nothing to bring Sunny some comfort as he marched the truck into the line. The zoom stopped. He watched as the crane groaned into life and turned around. His giant claw grabbed into pieces of rusty scrap metal. Small dust trails and bits of rust and metals fell as the train lifted the scrap to be loaded onto Sunny's trucks. While this was going on, Sunny was deep in thought. Low, being turned useless. As that was the word he had come to hate so passionately.
I'm not useless,
Sunny muttered to himself as his trucks continued being loaded with scrap. After the last truck was loaded, Sunny pushed the now loaded trucks into a siding, but they would wait until they would either be pushed into the smelter shed or loaded onto a train to be taken somewhere else. That stinging feeling continued to bother Sunny, and now a mild but not overbearing sense of dread began to rise within him. Sunny swallowed hard and tried his best to forget all what had happened when he was a thief. As he shoved another line of trucks, he passed by Bert, who was making his way back to the junction, where Sunny had arrived a couple hours before. Sunny didn't make any eye contact with him at all and continued on with his work. Bert stopped next to his brother as he watched Sunny pop back and forth. Goodness me, said Harry. Look how focused he is, Bert. Won't even stop before a minute to catch his breath. I never seen a steamy focus so closely on their work. Wonder what gives them the motivation to do so. The twins looked at each other as they pondered why Sunny was bustling around like he was. No idea, Bert, Harry said to his brother. Well, we'd best leave him to it. Better safe than sorry. A bit later, Harry and Bert were taking on fuel when the foreman went up. There's a train of scrap that needs to be brought here to be unloaded. It's at Crunch scrapyard. Red will have the trucks before you arrive. Can you do it? The foreman spoke to the twins. No problem, said Harry in a northern voice. Easy peasy. We'll make it there back in a jiff. Thank you, the foreman replied. After you're done fueling up, please make your way there. So you can manage the workload for a little while. Very well, Gov, said Harry. And with that, the foreman walked away, the ballast crunching with every step he took. After the twins had refueled, they made their way to the smelter's entrance. Sunny was just finishing shutting the trucks with the sign when he saw Harry and Bert nearing the entrance. He called out to them.
Boy, where are you two anymore?
Gotta pick up a train of scrap from Crunch scrapyard, replied Harry. It won't take long. You can manage for right now. Take care. Be mindful not to take up the signs reserved for the dead train, said Bert. Keep on your guard. Strange things unknown happen around here. When the two ironworks diesels set off for the night, Sunny watched until the two diesels' tail ends had vanished into the darkness, and the sound of their engines faded away. Sunny continued to marshal lines of trucks, either empty or loaded around the yard. He felt a bit uneasy without Harry and Bert around. Not even the president of his crew could easily discover being alone in a place where he felt he didn't belong. After some of the trucks were in the proper sightings, Sonny headed over to the water tower to get a drink. As his fireman lowered the spout into the open cap of his water tank, Sonny took a deep breath and let out a slow but heavy sigh. He breathed slowly as he felt the cool water enter his water tank. Just then, the sound of footsteps was heard and the smoke swarm went down to Sonny. Since Eddie and Bert need to go and fetch a train of scrap, I need you to shove some loading trucks into the smelting shed so the scrap can get them repurposed.
Oh, sure thing.
Sonny said softly. The foreman nodded and walked away, leaving Sonny alone with his crew once more. Once he had his drink, Sonny got himself turned around so that he was facing the smelting shed. He looked ahead and saw the trucks that were waiting to be shunted. As he approached them slowly, that awful pit-like feeling in his boiler worsened, almost to the point where he wanted so desperately to run out of the smelting area and empty out the contents of his ash can. But Sonny knew that the work had to be done. Swallowing hard once more, Sonny buffered up the trucks and began to slowly push them into the smelting shed. As he grew closer, the heat quickly became warmer and the sound of rumbling machinery grew louder. The ominous red glow enveloped Sonny as he crossed the threshold. Once Sonny's buffer had cleared the doorway, the large double door slowly closed behind him. The only way out now shut until another edge needed to get in. Sonny felt trapped a little. The heat from the smelting pot was now warmer than before, almost like it choked Sonny with its sweltering humidity. His crew mopped their foreheads as their engine continued to push the trucks towards the smelting pot. Sonny could feel a little bit of sweat trickling on his forehead and the bridge of his nose. He panted slightly to cool himself down, but it did nothing. Soon, the first truck was under the grabber that hung like a large metal spider from the ceiling. Sonny looked up as the grabber lowered itself to take the contents of the first truck and dumped them into the waiting smelting pot. The orange gold glow from the smelting pot shone in Sonny's eyes, almost blinding him. He closed his eyes and did his best to wait while the first truck was unloaded. The steady bubbling in the smelting pot made it sound like a giant cauldron just beginning to feed delicious rusted scrap. Sonny listened closely as the scrap from his truck was dumped into the smelting pot, the slag splashing and the hissing of the metal as it melted into nothing. The sound made Sonny feel a little sick to his boiler. As he pushed the second truck into position, a distant voice began to call out from the deepest void of Sonny's mind, a rather familiar voice. The voice echoed in Sonny's smoke box and reverberated in his funnel. Sonny darted, his eyes trying to find the owner of the voice, but there was no one there except his crew, a few workers and the grabber's operator.
Who's there?
Stammered Sonny. More sweat began to run down his face, then his boiler. Sonny felt his heart pound like a beating drum. The voice rang out again, only this time it was closer. It didn't take Sonny long to realize that the voice in his head belonged to Baz. The man threatened Sonny to be scrapped if he didn't help them steal. He began to pant, and his heart was now beating faster than before, like he was running at full speed on the main line. Sonny wanted to yell, but his voice was lost deep in his throat. Baz's voice rang out in his smoke box, humming around in Sonny's mind like an angry swarm of bees. Everyone was clear as day, and the insults and threats stung Sonny from within. The words continued to swirl around Sonny's funnel and smoke box, and they just wouldn't stop. Sonny shut his eyes tight. Just as he pushed the last truck into the grabber, he clenched his teeth. As drops of sweat dripped from his face and onto his running board, it took a bit, but Sonny found his voice at last.
Stop.
He mumbled under his breath.
Leave me alone. I'm not useless. I'm not a clanking clock.
Now his heart felt like it was about to burst out of his boiler, as it thumped harder and faster. Though his eyes were closed tight, Sonny could feel a sting of tears beneath his eyelids. The voice echoed louder than before. At last, Sonny could bear it no longer. He pushed the trucks in front of him hard, and they rolled down the track a little bit, coming with snow.
Hey, which way you put your weight around?
The trucks protested, but their protests were drowned out in Sonny's mind as he continued to fight internally against this hellish swarm of repressed memories.
Please, just stop.
Sonny protested, his voice began to crack.
I'm not a thief anymore. You can go to hell for all I really care. Just leave me alone.
Sonny's yelling echoed around the smelting shed, but was quickly drowned out by the sound of machinery. A couple of workers stopped their work and turned in Sonny's direction. Even Sonny's crew became concerned when the needle in Sonny's steam pressure gauge moved. That's strange, his fireman said. What is it? His fireman asked. His steam pressure is rising a little, Sonny's fireman inquired. Both men stared at each other. They tried to figure out what was wrong with their engine.
Please, stop haunting me and leave me the hell alone.
A couple of tears squeezed their way under Sonny's closed eyelids and ran down his sweaty cheeks. The noise of the smelting pot and the smelting shed quickly faded as Sonny began to shudder. Sonny, what's the matter? His driver called. What's gunning to you? No reply came as Sonny ignored his driver.
Shut up, Baz. You're not my owner anymore. You have no control over me anymore. Just leave me alone.
Sonny's steam pressure rose a bit more. His crew, eyes his gauges, prayed to whatever God could hear them, and Sonny's safety valve wouldn't burst. Then the doors of the smelting shed opened, and the familiar sound of these legends humming made itself known. Harry and Bert looked ahead and saw Sonny shuddering violently. Breaking through the deafening echoes of Baz's dastardly voice came another. Sonny! 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 Sonny opened his eyes wide and let out a loud gasp. His crew breathed a sigh of relief as Sonny's steam pressure went down. Harry and Bert approached. Now, why are you under the grabber then, Sonny? That's usually reserved for the scrap trucks or engines of the dead train. Harry asked him. Sonny wouldn't reply, but once again, his voice got lost deep in his throat. The ironworks twins rolled up alongside and could see from the blinding glow of the smoking pot the shivering tracks of sweat that dampened Sonny's face. His obsidian pupils had contracted into small little pinpoints. A lump had formed in his throat. Sonny tried his best to swallow it down, but it wouldn't budge. A few more tears escaped his eyes. Harry and Bert remained respectfully silent. As much as they wanted to ask Sonny what was wrong, they could hear Sonny almost silently whimpering under his breath. Come on, Bert. Let's get Sonny out of here. Harry said to his brother. Harry backed up and switched himself onto the same line as Sonny. Once he buffered up, he and Bert slowly reversed out of the smelting shed. Fear-stricken, but almost mentally charged, Sonny following close. Once out of the smelting shed, Harry and Bert brought Sonny to the entrance where the foreman was waiting. Thank you very much for your help, Sonny. He spoke to him. I've informed Stubman of your hard work tonight. You'll be most pleased to hear you've done well to manage during the short time that you've been absent. Sonny said nothing and stayed deathly quiet. Harry uncoupled himself from Sonny, cleared the line so Sonny could turn himself around and leave. Once he was, Sonny didn't say goodbye to Harry and Bert. Instead, he left quietly, tears still streaming down his face. The two diesels watched until Sonny's figure disappeared into the dark night. They were at a loss for words. They couldn't wrap their buckets around why Sonny was under the grabber and shaking violently. What do you suppose got into him? Bert asked. I reckon some bad memories resurfaced, perhaps. Harry answered back. But I digress. Bert just grunted in agreement. But little known to the two ironworks diesels, Harry would be right. Soon, Sonny returned to the yard where his shed was situated. It took some time to get Sonny turned around, where he could easily back into his shed for the night. Once bunkered down in his warm shed, Sonny's fireman doused his fire. Both men were still concerned about their engine, and wanted to find out why he shouted the way he did. Sonny's driver cautiously walked to the front and came face to face with him. Sonny, what's wrong? Who were you shouting at back at the smelter's yard?